Hi, my name is Jennifer Hermansky. I'm pleased to be here in Vietnam, and I am a shareholder at the law firm of Greenberg Traurig, and we've helped many investors process through EB-5 and achieve their goal to come to the United States as permanent residents. So I'm happy to talk to you today about what EB-5 is and how you and your family can utilize it to move to the United States. So EB-5 is a program that we have in the United States that enables you and your family to come on green cards after making a qualifying investment into a project. And essentially what happens is you make an investment in the United States, and that project and investment creates 10 full-time jobs for U.S. workers. And in exchange, you and your family members get a green card. So it is a beneficial program to move you and your family permanently to the United States. EB-5 has many benefits for investors. The number one benefit is that, of course, you get to move permanently to the United States. You get to live there in the United States. You get to choose anywhere you want to live. You can bring your children and your spouse with you. You can work anywhere that you want. And your children can also go to school in the United States, which is a major advantage. Also, eventually, you can use the EB-5 program to qualify you and your family members for U.S. citizenship. And most importantly, EB-5 is a self-sponsored green card. So you can make an investment and sponsor yourself to come to the United States, and you don't need an employer or a family member to sponsor you. So EB-5 is primarily an investment job creation program. So you make a $500,000 investment into a project in the US. That project is then going to use your money to create jobs for US workers. It's also a requirement that we show the US government how you earned your $500,000 that you've invested into the project. So you'll work with your attorney and you'll work with your agent Khai Phú to enable you to show the government how you earned your funds lawfully here in Vietnam. Very good question. There are many different ways we can prove where your funds came from that you're investing into the United States. Every family is different, and we're going to work one-on-one with you to determine how we can best prove your lawful source of funds. But as some examples, generally people show the salary that they earned at their employer. Maybe you own a business here in Vietnam and you take money from the business and you've had a good income from that. Maybe you got a gift from a family member. That's also acceptable. Sometimes people might sell a house that they own here in Vietnam to do the EB-5 investment, or you might even take a loan from the bank to do an EB-5 investment. So there are a lot of options, and you'll work with your lawyer and your agent to figure out what's the best way for you and your family to prove the source of funds. So there are many different things that you can look at when choosing a project. The most important thing is to look at the materials and feel comfortable with the project that you're investing in. So you're going to work with your agent to understand what options are out there for projects, and then you'll receive materials about each project for you to review with your family. And generally you can look at who is the developer behind the project, what is the capital stack for the project, and what other sources of financing are going into the project, Where is the project located? Is it within a targeted employment area that qualifies for the $500,000 investment? And also, do you generally feel comfortable about what type of project it is and what investment it is and who's behind the project? So you understand the answer to all those questions. So the EB-5 program is a special type of green card. The first green card that you get after you attend the interview at the U.S. Embassy is valid for just 2 years. The reason is because the Immigration Service wants us to come back and report to them on the status of the project. Generally, they want to know that you've kept your investment in the project during the 2 years of the green card, and the USCIS wants to make sure that the project has created the jobs for the investors. So generally, they are going to make sure that the project actually happened, that it was constructed, and that enough jobs were created for all of the investors in the project. Very good question. So the job creation for many of these projects, we don't look at the individuals who are working at a particular business. Instead, the project hires an experienced economist who will use a model to determine the amount of jobs that will be created as a result of the project. So when you're looking at a project, you'll see that there's a certain amount of projected jobs for the project. In most cases, we derive jobs from spending money at the construction site, and the jobs are created as we actually spend that money on the project. So there's some risk to EB-5 because, of course, you're making an investment into a project. And so you want to make sure that you work closely with your agent to make sure that you feel comfortable about the project and that you fully understand the investment that you're making into the U.S. And generally, if you work with an experienced attorney and an experienced agent, we can help you through the immigration process to document your source of funds, and also to help you through the process at the consulate and all the way through the end of the process to get the permanent green card after the end of your 2-year green card. So generally, again, you should fully understand the investment that you're making and work with your agent to understand what that is, and that will help you understand the EB-5 investment. So generally, I do have a lot of recommendations about EB-5. I think right now is still a good time to do EB-5 if you're considering it. The price right now for EB-5 is still $500,000. That could change in the future because our government is discussing increasing the amount of the investment to adjust for the inflation that's happened since 1990 when we started EB-5. So if you are serious about doing EB-5, now is still a good time to do it. I think it's also very important to work with an experienced agent like Khai Phú so that you can work with someone that understands how to document source of funds and how to work with someone that is going to give you the best possible chance of success of getting the green card. So I hope that I can work with you directly at Greenberg Traurig. We have a lot of experience helping investors through the immigration process, particularly here out of Vietnam. So we've worked at Greenberg Traurig with Khai Phú on a number of cases, and we've had good success working with them. You'll find that their staff is very professional and that they'll give you a lot of details about what EB-5 is. And you can always ask your attorney as well questions that you have about EB-5. So if you have any questions for GT or Khai Phú, please feel free to contact us, but they'll be a great partner through your immigration process.